Alright guys, in today's video we have a few things to go over and talk about here. The first thing has to do with the PlayStation 5 and how it's seeming like we are not going to be getting any information today about Sony's next generation console, which is extremely disappointing. So I just want to take a few minutes to talk about that, not go on any type of rant or anything like that, but just acknowledge it because it's kind of impossible not to at this point. But the main topic of this video that I want to take some time to discuss here has to do with Remedy apparently working on a PlayStation exclusive game. Now, this is a rumor, but there are some really strong hints here that something is going on between Remedy and PlayStation. In fact, the main reason I want to cover this is because this is something we've been talking about for months now, where it just seems like, Sony and Remedy are getting really buddy-buddy. And because of that, there's been a lot of speculation as to whether or not they're going to be acquired or if they're going to make an exclusive game for Sony, so on and so forth. So we're definitely going to talk about that. But before going any further, if you could do me a favor, be sure to hit that like button. It really helps the videos out, and it's the easiest way for you to show your support. And be sure to hit the subscribe button as well. But talking about the PlayStation 5 news and information that we were supposed to get today, well, as of the time of this recording, we haven't gotten anything, and frankly, I don't think we're going to. And it's unfortunate because I really do feel that Sony is walking a tightrope right now where, you have to sit back and question why they're not talking about their next-gen console, especially at a time when fans are really clamoring for it, right? At a time where their competition is coming out being pretty aggressive and they're building some momentum, they're gaining some mind share. You have to wonder why Sony isn't doing anything to retaliate or to kind of build up the hype in their own area with their next-gen console. And I don't have the answer to that. Although there are a few different things that people look to. If you're looking at it with the glass half empty, you're going to assume that things are just going wrong behind the scenes. I've seen a lot of people run with the idea that Sony is scared and they're trembling and they're trying to delay it as far back as they can to mitigate the potential damage or backlash. I've seen other people say that it's mainly because Sony just wants to get the timing right and they just want to make sure that when they do it, it's at a time where they just feel it's a good time, and I'm not going to lie to you, as a fan, as somebody who is eagerly awaiting PlayStation 5 news and information, the wait is becoming extremely difficult at this point. And the big question now is, are we going to see a reveal in March? And I plan to do another video going more in depth talking about this, mainly because I currently have a poll up on my channel, which I would encourage anybody listening to this to go participate in. Vote yes or no on whether or not you think Sony is going to talk about the PS5 in March, or if you think they're actually not going to. Because for me personally, it would blow my mind if we went all throughout March and Sony did not talk anymore about their next generation console. I would literally be in shock because I just don't see that happening. However, I do still think it's possible. And so I guess what I'm trying to say here is that as a PlayStation fan, I'm not going to sit here and rant and say that Sony's doing anything wrong, because they're not. We're not entitled to anything, truly. We have a lot coming to PlayStation 4. I just downloaded the Final Fantasy VII demo, which I plan to try out. I've been hearing really good things about it. We have Neo 2 coming. We have Iron Man VR for those who are into VR. Persona 5, The Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima, and I'm sure there's some other games I'm forgetting as well. The point is, 2020 is a very big year for PlayStation 4, and that's not even talking about the third-party games like Resident Evil 3 and Cyberpunk, right? There's a lot to look forward to this year. So I can't sit here and make it sound like I have nothing to play or nothing to do, because that's just being ridiculous. But there's no doubt that if you are somebody who is, eagerly anticipating some next-gen information from PlayStation, unfortunately, we are going to have to continue to wait. Now, maybe at the time of this recording, that's when Sony decided to drop some news. Who knows? If not, maybe it'll happen tomorrow. Maybe it'll happen next week. Maybe it's not going to happen this month at all. But I'm going to do my best to keep you guys in the loop and updated. And I know that there's a lot of people who are, getting, myself included, I'm not excluded from this. I'm obviously right at the center of it, where we're talking a lot about the T-flops and the specs and the power. And I think some people are kind of mixing things up here, where they're looking at my content and they're believing that I'm the one claiming that the PS5 is going to be 13.3 teraflops. I don't really think that. At this point, I literally am expecting anything, and I really can't stress that enough. Whether it's 9 teraflops, 11 teraflops, 13, I'm expecting anything. I'm not setting my expectations. All I know is that the PS5 is going to be an awesome console with awesome games, but I won't lie, it will be very interesting to find out what the specs will be. I just hope people understand that I am in no way, shape, or form sitting here claiming that I know something that you don't, because I don't. I don't know anything. I know the same that you guys do. I just wanted to clear that up here. Now, moving on from that, I want to talk about Remedy and how they are apparently developing a PlayStation exclusive. It says here that rumors are swirling that Alan Wake developer Remedy is beavering away on a PlayStation exclusive project. While it seems like a bit of a stretch, let's just take a minute here to explain. First up, Sony's indie boss Shuhei Yoshida was visited by Remedy, with PlayStation Europe's external development branch, XDev Europe, retweeting Yoshida's post. In addition, XDev also did the retweet for Remedy. Not enough? Okay, well, there is more to tell. The lead producer at Remedy Entertainment, Alexis G, is what I will call them, because I'm not going to attempt to pronounce that last name, recently added XDev plus CoDev to his job title on LinkedIn, which definitely indicates that the two companies are working together. There's obviously no confirmation at this point that Remedy is working with Sony on a PlayStation exclusive title, but we'll keep our eyes out for any more developments. And goes on to say here that last year Remedy acquired the rights back to the Alan Wake franchise, sparking hope that we may see a PS4 remaster of the much-loved horror title. Nothing has been announced regarding an Alan Wake remaster yet, but it still remains a possibility. Sam Lake also said that he would still like to make the long-awaited Alan Wake 2, but the chances of that being a PlayStation exclusive are pretty slim. I wouldn't say it's pretty slim. I mean, I could see that happening, especially considering, I mean, if you think about it, you know, Sam Lake, he's saying that he would like, you know, to continue it, and obviously Microsoft didn't give them the opportunity to do that. They had to buy the rights back. I don't think that's that far-fetched, honestly. I'd actually say that might even be a pretty strong possibility. And so the reason why I wanted to highlight this is because it's seemingly, I don't want to say this is like confirmed, because it's not. Nothing's confirmed until it's confirmed. But guys, this is a really, really strong indication that Remedy is in fact going to be developing an exclusive game for PlayStation. And if you think about this, it adds up perfectly. I've been speculating, and maybe this is where I've gotten a little bit, you know, too far ahead of myself too quickly. I've been speculating for months now that I believed, you know, Remedy was going to end up either already got acquired, which some people were telling me that if Remedy did get acquired by Sony, we would have known by now, because there's some, you know, the way the company's owned, like the information would have had to like legally come out, so everybody would have known ahead of time. So that, you know, immediately takes away that idea. But it's seemed for so long that Remedy is doing something, or just getting really close to Sony and PlayStation, and they've been buddy-buddy. You see the marketing of Control. You see all the awards that Control has won. And I did play Control, and I platinumed it. I thought it was amazing, actually, and it was just announced today that it's going to be on PlayStation Now. So I encourage anybody who maybe is subscribed to PlayStation Now, if you're interested, play Control. It's a really good game, amazing action. And I'm just pointing out that way back sometime, I think in early or almost mid-2019, Shuhei Yoshida paid a visit to Remedy. Now we have some more evidence here that clearly points to Sony and Remedy doing something together. And the big question, like, listen, if I had to give my thoughts on this, like whether or not I believe this is real, like is Remedy in fact partnering with PlayStation to make an exclusive game, I do. I 100% believe it. In fact, I'd be kind of surprised at this point, given this evidence, if that wasn't the case. Now, do I want to say that everybody else should believe it 100%? No, because I could be wrong. Again, this is a rumor. But out of everything we've been talking about here, this really does point to something that seemingly is likely to happen. And I guess the big question here is, what could this game be? Could it be a sequel to Control? I think that's very possible. I mean, you look at the type of awards that the game won, like I said, and is still being nominated for, was received really well. Unfortunately, I don't think it sold too well, which is a real shame. I don't know why. But nonetheless, it's a really good game, so I could see that getting a follow-up, and then, you know, maybe Sony trying to acquire that as an exclusive. Whether or not it would be like a timed exclusive, I don't know about that. It very well could be. Could it be Alan Wake 2? Yeah, I think it could be that as well. Could it be something completely new? Yes. Now, I know what people are going to say, like, oh, wait, isn't Remedy working with Microsoft on that game Crossfire? Aren't they making the campaign or something to that? And we already know that they have other projects in the works as well. Well, yeah, but just because Remedy has other things going on, and just because they're, you know, partnered with Xbox, doesn't mean they can't also be partnered with PlayStation. I mean, it would be two completely separate things. I mean, that's, you know, we're talking about Sony striking a deal, maybe, you know, talking about funding an exclusive game. That is completely different from them striking a deal where they're going to try to acquire the studio as you know, entirely. So there you go, guys. I just wanted to take some time to make this video. I know it's coming out a little bit later than usual. I don't normally upload this late in the day, but I wanted to wait around a little bit to see if we were in fact going to be getting PlayStation 5 news, and if we do, I'll be sure to update you. But for now, I'm just going to say hang in there, remain patient. I do still firmly believe that the wait will be worth it. I don't think there's any reason to be pessimistic. Sony, frankly, hasn't given us any reason to be pessimistic. Only people who are trying to spread negativity are giving us a reason to be pessimistic. So don't buy into that. And be sure to go over to the poll on my channel under the community tab and vote whether or not you think Sony is in fact going to reveal more info about the PS5 in March, or if you think they're not going to say anything in March. With that being said, that's going to do it for the video. Let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. I will be very interested to see what you guys have to say. Again, leave the video a like if you did enjoy it or found it informative. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already. Hit the bell notification icon so you never miss an upload, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.